Okie dokie. We should be okay here. I'll find out in a second. Yep, we are here. We're all right. Okay, cool. Very good. All right. Give me 1 second. There I am. Captions are auto-generated. Oh man, I didn't want no captions. But it's okay. Hello Carolyn, how are you? Just give me a second, let me get rid of the captions here. Close captions off. All right. Okay, it's been quite a while since I've did anything on Facebook, and I know it's late night and I figured I might as well do something. Okay, on the upper right hand corner, right about there, I know it's a screen overlay. It takes part of the picture away, but when it's all finished, I'll make that disappear. All right. How am I doing? Oh, I'm living the dream. Doing just great. Thank you for asking. Hope you're doing well. If you look on the palette up there, I got cad red, ultramarine blue, and turquoise with a little bit of sienna. That's about all we'll need so far. Oh yeah, it's been a little while because I'm exclusively usually on YouTube. But I decided, it's a little bit after 11:30 and I'll just do it here on Facebook. It's been a while since anybody seen me. I'm not going to use any vegetable glycerin because of what I want to do with this painting. Okay, this is 12 by 18 inch watercolor paper, believe it or not, and it's glued on foam board. It makes it very sturdy and makes it very light. Alrighty then. This is a coffee lid on top of a glass palette. The coffee lid is taped down here pretty good, so it's not going to go anywhere. All right. Hey Rosemary, I know it's been a while. Hey Glinda, how are you? It's good to see you. Deneen, hello, how are you? Good to see you. But we're going to get started. I'm going to make a very it's a scumbled method. Scumbled is actually a word, and basically I'll just take some paint, take most of it off the brush, and create some really billowy, traumatic looking clouds going on with it. Won't be too much detail because I'm going to put a bunch of mist and fog in there. There's a barn. I drew it in pencil, then I taped it. Okay, because I'll put the trees in, which is why you see the dark outline in pencil. Okay, the bottom of the barn is actually the horizon line. Okay, so we'll move in. We'll go forward from there. Okay, let's get to getting here. Like I said, I'm just going to use water, which is what you see right here. You see that right here. All right, it's just a little jar of water. And I'm just going to use the paint, really. And this is a mop brush. I'll put it in this camera. It's nothing but a Walmart makeup brush. I got dozens of them, various sizes. I tape them because the glue usually comes off. I abuse these things. I go through quite a few of them. So, but feel free to ask questions, talk to me, and all that good stuff. Try to answer as best as I can. Like I say, just a little bit of water and some paint today. No vegetable glycerin or anything like that. All right, I'll go with the dark blue. Like I say, I'm gonna just scumble in just like this. Just scumble in some shapes here, just some colors. And we're gonna do this all over the place. All right, and then I'll fine tune all this as we move on. Now with this method of making clouds, it's almost like haphazard. Okay, And I'm doing it with water, not glycerin, so once it starts to settle and dry, it's going to dry. It's going to stay there. Okay. So I'm going to do it all over the place. Various hues, tones, and shades. Okay. I'm going in below the tree line. You got to do that. So my tree line just won't be blocked in. All right. I'm going to make the tree line look like, a bird can actually fly through that thing. All right. Now, it all depends on how much water you use on the brush. Okay, that will determine how much paint you're going to use. Let's go to some of the turquoise green. We'll put some of that turquoise green in there. Now, the blue that you're looking at, that I painted this whole canvas over, is actually a mixture of these two colors. All right. Hey, Sandy. I'm doing pretty good, actually. They got me going through physical therapy and a dozen hospital visits and drawing blood from me like a vampire, all of that stuff. I tell you one thing, my eating habits have changed greatly. So yeah, I'm taking care of myself pretty well. But thank you. Now, sometimes I will use water in the paint, sometimes I won't. Depends on what I want, what kind of look I want. Okay, and I don't dip the whole brush in the water. I'll come out here, go this way. Now it will look like a conjoined mess for right now, and that's okay. A lot of paintings end up looking kind of miscombobulated, a little odd. Okay, they do, and that's all right. I'm pushing some of this paint into the other. All right. And remember, once you get near the tree line, you go below the tree line. But as we go on, you'll see why. And I'll still see the pencil lines because I'm putting the paint on fairly thin. Glycerin, which is what the medium I use a lot, is very reflective. Okay, so when the light shines on it, it's hard to see it really. Depending on the angle. Now, I know I'm going into a little bit of the overlay, but that's all right. Actually, since I'm messing with the top, I'll just move the overlay down. Hold on for a second. I'll just move the overlay down. We'll put the overlay over here, all right? Since I'm not doing anything down there, I'll just put it there so you guys can see exactly what on earth I'm doing here. I might eke in a little bit of white. I might sneak in some white in there. We'll see. But I really want the clouds to be kind of this blue and blue-green color. I don't need it to be too bright. But I may sneak in a little bit of white in there. To give more variance. I'm gonna still add depth to these clouds once I get done scumbling away here. Probably toward the bottom by the tree line here. We're gonna add a little bit of brown, which will gray it out a little bit. All right. Hopefully you guys can hear me well and see me well. So it's almost really like coloring, really. Okay, what just happened to me? Why have I been moved? That was kind of odd. Let's go back. That was weird. That was weird. Don't know why it did that. My tablet, I bought another tablet, and it's faster, and but it gets its quirks, like all mechanical things do. Yep, I think I'm gonna pop in a little bit of white here and there. A little bit. I'm going back into my turquoise here. Concentrate going below the tree line a little, just a little bit. Might be a little hard for you to see the variance in colors, but they are there. And once again, there's a reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, the way I'm doing it also. Okay, I'm going to take a smaller version of one of these, and I think I'll sprinkle a little bit of white in there, kind of, sort of. It's going to retain the colors, so it won't be totally white. That's the last thing I need. Because most of this, when it's done, it's going to be shrouded in mist. Okay. Which is another reason why I'm using water, because, you know, it dries really fast, acrylic paint. And I'm using a little bit of heavy body paint. I think I'll use this version of white. This is just a Waverly chalk paint. The white's called Plaster, and you get it at Walmart. I could use other brands. I got them here, but this one's very convenient. It's a step above craft paint. It's a little thicker, a little heavier bodied. When it dries, you can actually use it as a chalkboard. It's pretty thick stuff. I'm going to use just a little bit of white. I'm going into my blue here. Okay, I can add just a slight touch of water to it, as you see me doing here. I'll dab a little bit on my brush here, and let's see. Kind of scumble in some stuff in here like this. Now, if I don't like the way it looks, or it's not blue enough, I can change that. It's not blue enough for me, so I'll just go into my blue, and I'll just kind of make it a little turquoise. Wipe off my brush, and we're gonna scumble some of this in there. You can get away with a lot of this as long as it's still wet. Now things are going to get really interesting here after this point. Okay, because once I put this white on, now I can put the other colors over it. You follow me? You'll see as I build this stuff up here. So it's pretty fun to do this. Pretty cool. Like I said, I can go a little bit below the tree line here. I'm just brightening up some of this turquoise. I'll be brightening the blue also. But I'm not going to have it too bright. I won't do that. Maybe try not to. Go below the tree line a little bit. A little touch of white into the blue. And if it's a little bit too white, you just kind of darken it a little bit. Let's go up here. Pop some up around in here like this. And you can control your hand pressure. Hello, Carmen. I know some of you haven't seen me in quite a bit of time. I know. I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. Now what I'm doing is I'm scrubbing a little harder on the edges. I want the intensity in the middle, but I can fade out the rest. It's okay. Now remember, this is not glycerin, this is water. So you're gonna have to be a little quick. And some of it looks kind of crazy. It's all right. It's okay. You're building on this. Okay. Now what I've done with the lighter colors, I'm also do with the darker color. All right, so I'll do that with the blue here. Take a little bit of blue, little touch of white. Still want it a little more blue than the white. Okay. And we can come up in here and add some of that love, just like that. Mix it right in there. It's gonna start to take a life of its own in a little while. I don't intend to get rid of some of that base color. Keep some of that in there. All right. But this is how you build up your clouds. Let's put some of that love in here too. Touch more blue, a little dab of white, very little. Still want it on the blue side. And really I'm just scumbling this stuff in here without adding any water to it. Mix it right in there with the other stuff. Like I say, it's really up to you, your preference. If you want to add more water, less water. Okay, I add a touch of water in there. Dip some of it on my, I got a large towel on my lap here. And once again, I can kind of loosen up those edges a little bit. So I'm bringing it in there. And keep going. And while it's still wet, you can still move around some of this paint, swirl it around, make it a little smoother. All up to you, your choice. Like so. How am I doing? I'm doing quite well. Okay, where am I at here? Let's get some stuff going over here. We'll still mess with a little bit of this blue, why not? Up in here, right up on the top. And we'll come around a little bit. I tend to have, depending on the direction I'm going, I like to put the intensity of the clouds in a certain direction and then fade out the bottom or the top, depending on what I'm doing, what I'm kind of going for here. But since I'm going for values, okay, as long as I get a little bit of that glow in there, but it's not overbearing, then we're good. You can spend quite a large amount of time doing this. It's just fun. You can keep layering and layering and layering and layering. You really have a good time with it. Up to you. Okay. All right, let's play with a little bit of blue and brown. We're gonna get a little touch of brown here. We'll put it right here. Go with the darker blue. Now be careful, depending on the brown that you use, it can turn red on you. Or it can turn green on you, excuse me. And you don't want that. I'm gonna use a little bit more blue in this brown. Now this is sienna. Sienna is a brown with more red in it, so you're pretty much safe. All right. Okay. I'm gonna play around with this, just to add a little bit of body to some of these clouds. I don't want to really be too heavy-handed. I'm gonna wipe a lot of this on my towel, and we're just gonna come in here. And we're gonna kind of play around with some of that darkness in there. I'm gonna keep the darkness pretty much toward the bottom. Fade it in and out. If I wanted a little smoother, I'll add a little drop of water in there. But it's going, usually a little bit below the tree line in here. Okay, I'll wipe off some of the excess, and then I'll kind of fade the top part into some of that lighter area. But keep these fairly dark in here. So we're gonna start adding little bits of body to these guys. Once again, really up to you how you want to present these things. Any dark color will make anything brighter pop out more, because darker color recedes, which means it appears to just draw back into your painting, which is what I'm trying to say, really. Okay. So if I sound or catch myself sounding a little geeky, I'll let you know what I'm really trying to say. Just getting a little more of that color, mixing it in with the water. Let's go back here a little bit, all up in here. Like I say, I want it more toward the bottom anyway. Let's come up here. We're gonna silhouette this barn a little bit. I'll bring it up in here. I'm just wiping off a brush because we'll make some of this up on top disappear a little bit. And you can keep working at this and working at this and working at this. Doing it like this with this darker color with a lot of water, it almost turns it into a wash or a glaze. All right, all right. I'll keep going at it, but you see how it's starting to look here. You see how that brightness is starting to pop there. Okay. And you can keep going back and forth with this. Bring some of the other blue into the brown, try to kill some of that off a little bit. Like so. And you just keep building and building and building. I'm just stopping because I'm looking and checking things out a little bit here. That's right. Scumbling. I love the sound of the scum. That's a keeper, Rosemary. That's a keeper. But basically, you're just scratching, just rubbing the dry brushing. You're just rubbing the dry stuff over. Now, if I wasn't going to add mist and fog on this, I would highlight these guys and put some runaway white clouds in there. It would look really crazy. But what I got here is fairly cool. I don't really have to do much more to that than this. Okay. All right. Let's move this over to the other side there. Here, you don't see it obviously, but there is a little pond here. All right, let's work something with this pond. I could use this brush. And we're on watercolor paper, so you got to kind of know your medium here. Okay. I'll wet the water a little. I'll just wet it here, just like this. You still would have to be kind of brisk doing even this. Okay. Obviously, you do see it, but it's starting to dry as I'm talking to you. I may end up using a little glycerin for this part. I really don't want to. I'm going to. Now, glycerin is extremely, it's like the Bob Ross oil paint version of liquid clear. Okay, it's very viscous. I am using it right now on it. This won't dry up as fast as the water. But I'll use just a little bit of this stuff. A little bit goes an extremely long way. Okay. I just dry my brush off. I wipe some of this stuff off because, once again, a little bit goes a long way. Okay, and it keeps the acrylic paint wet for a while, and you can easily blend it and all that good stuff. All right. Okay. All right. Let's deal with a little bit of dark blue here. Oh, I guess we'll go from here. And then we'll get some dark blue. We'll go from the other edge, right about in here somewhere. A little darker than that. Somewhere around in here. Okay, something like that. Do I got any of my other color here? Not too much of it, but it's all right. We'll improvise. We'll put it right up in here somewhere. Just like that, and we'll kind of blend it into that light stuff there. We'll come here and do the same thing, more or less. Because you gotta remember, all of this is going to be covered in fog, mist. And we're going to drag some of that in there like that. We'll come out here. We'll do the same thing. Let's get some of that dark stuff. And we'll kind of bring it in there like that. I don't really want to add nothing really super bright, but I guess I will for you guys. Then I'll just take it, I'll kind of go in this way. And I'll come out this way with it, move it around a little bit. Something like that. And we'll just keep it pretty much like that for right now. Okay, all right. So we got this done. This will be dry in a few minutes. This is already dry. Let's work on the tree line here. Now, I pretty much know where the tree line is going to be. You guys do not. So let's do this if I can get away with it. Pardon the back of my head. I do have a white pencil in here somewhere. It is aptly buried. So of course I can't find it when I need it. Is this it? Let's see. No, this is definitely not it. Well, if I can't find it, it's okay. But I know, I'll use this chalk thing. This will be fine. In fact, I'll knock over half the board here. It's hiding from me because it knows it's going to be used. All right. The tree line is somewhere around in here like this. I'll draw it for you real quick. Hey, it's around here like that. Some of it comes up here like this. It comes back down. It goes up and pretty much like that. All right. That's your tree line. The vanishing or the horizon line is right here at the bottom of the barn here. Just like that. Okay, so you guys should be able to see that now. All right. Let's have a little fun here. I'll play around with this, I guess. Let's get a little bit of I'm not gonna have enough. Hold on. I know I'm not going to have enough. I want a fairly deep, dark tree line. So I'm just going into a little bit of ultramarine blue here. All right. Now this brush used to be my go-to do everything brush. I used to put the glycerin on and everything with this brush. But over the years it's gotten beaten down. So I gave it a crew cut and kept because it's such a full brush, so I cut it and kept the flat edges here. So it gives me pretty interesting tree patterns, which is why this brush is still hanging around. So I'll just dip into a little bit of red, a little bit of blue. Now this is going to be more red than blue, but that's all right. Give me a second. Give me some more blue in there, just like that. So more blue than the red. Okay. Okay, dokie. That's all right. I'll pop a little brown in there too. There we go. This should be okay. How are you? Hope you're. Hey, you can paint. Olson, how are you? Yeah, I'm recuperating. I'm doing fine. I appreciate it. I am A-okay. Doing as I'm told and all that good stuff. All right, we're going to get very interesting tree patterns here. This is one of the good things about moving my camera is that I can zoom in a little bit so you guys can actually see this. Okay, I'll zoom in a little bit. Move the camera over. Just like that. I'll go up high. We don't have to do anything with the clouds, so we'll put it right about there. I'll adjust the focus. It's a touchscreen camera. There you go. All right, let's have some fun. Here, these shapes here, which I'll be painting over them. Okay, you want very interesting shapes here. And you want to make it look like a bird of some sort can actually go through this. Okay, all right. So, let's get to getting. Very soft touch. Okay, just like that. All right, because you want some of that sky to kind of appear through it. And I'm using a very, very soft touch, covering up the white chalk line. All right, and you can angle your brush, turn it any which way really. I'm gonna go through this rather quickly. I don't have to actually stay with the outline. I can go a little further, okay, really up to you. Act like the barn doesn't exist. Come up here with it a little bit. Just like so. Okay, I like the pattern. And so I'll just keep with the pattern. It's going to obviously get darker down here, down below here. And I'm not really worried about the horizon, the vanishing point or the horizon line. I'm not really concerned about that because I'm going to put another one there anyway. I'm just dipping more to the dark color there. And just going right from the bottom here. The bottom obviously is quite dark or solid down here. I can turn the brush around and just kind of tap it in there. It don't matter at this point. As long as I got stuff I can see through here, we're good. Okay. But down below here, right here, it's fairly dark down there. All right, because that's the start of your landline there. Okay. All right. I like the texture, which is why I keep tapping away. I know it's pretty late in the evening. Most people don't have to work on a Saturday, but people will catch this. You know, it will always be on my wall and it will be in the video section. If you go to my profile page and you tap the video, it's in there by order of date it was done. So you know, you always pretty much be able to find this thing. Okay. Pretty cool, pretty cool. We can bring some of this upward a little bit there. I'm gonna add some trunks in here. All right. Now after I do this, the tape on the barn comes off, because I'm gonna do the barn next. I'll zoom in on the barn. We'll do the barn real quick. Because remember, all I'm doing here, all of this you see is just background. That's gonna be shrouded in fog, blanketed in mist. Okay. Miss Olsen, I know all about sucky internet, trust me. I truly do. Now, there's a few ways that I could do the trunks here. I can take I'll take this guy. I could take the flat knife here, and I could just scratch in some trunks. It's no big deal. Okay, take it and just kind of scratch them in there. Matter of fact, I might do that because it's going to give me that blue-ish. See the blue? So I'll get the English language straight soon. I'm just going to scratch a few in here that are blue. Bring some high, bring some low, whatever. Okay. And then I'm going to add white. And the white will appear to go forward more. Some are crooked, some are tall, some are straight. Much like that. You know, some come right down to the bottom. You can do a couple of those like that. Be careful adding so many of these, because your eye tends to draw toward them. Okay. Have some come straight down there. I'm digging right into the paper with it. All right. Okay. Let's take a slightly smaller palette knife. I'll dip into a little bit of this white here. I'll bring it right here. Slide it across like that. I'll do a quick swipe across. And I'll pop some. You see how it sticks out? Put them in various sizes, bring some way up there. Take another swipe. And it's up to you where you want to put this stuff. Okay, up to you. Thicker ones appear larger. Pop a crooked one in there somewhere. Say it's up to you. Let's go behind the barn here. We'll pop some in front like that. Put one way up there. And have one come off the corner there. Like that. Up in here. Have some crisscross. Like that. Okay, that's cool. That'll work. That will work. Let's put this back. Let's take the smaller brush here, since we're messing with this. Let's take a little bit of what I don't have. We'll take a tiny touch of yellow. We'll put the yellow right in here. We'll take the yellow, we'll put it around here somewhere. Yellow's it's a bright color, but it's also a weak color. We'll get a little bit of green. Just like that. Let's get a little bit more yellow though. We need a little more paint than what I'm messing with here. A little touch of blue in there. pop it a little green. We're going to take this green, we're going to get some of this other color and put it in there, kind of muddy it up a little bit. All right. Okay. Now remember, we know where the line is. Okay. We're going to push these trees back a little bit by adding something a little brighter in front of them. Just like that. Some are a little higher than others. Put them in there like that. It is just adding some shrubs up in here. All right, go by the barn, add a few. Some are higher than others, some are lower. And all of this will add to the mist when we add that in later. And remember, no glycerin except for what we did with this area right in here. None of the glycerin, because the glycerin, like I say, takes a while to dry. And as I'm putting this stuff on, by the time I'm done with the barn, this will also dry up. But, so, you know, just a little something there. Okay. All right. Believe it or not, that part of the painting is done. I'm going to move this toward the center and zoom in a little bit. It's good to see you, Dorothy. Okay, let's move that over a little bit. We'll put it here. And we're going to zoom in a bit. I think I go towards my cabinet to zoom in. Yes, I do. Don't worry about it fuzzing out. We'll straighten it out just like that. You guys should be able to see that more or less. Okay. All right. Let's get an X-Acto knife. Let's peel off this tape. And very carefully, I will lift, pull. And there it is. Okay. Like I say, it's, just penciled in real quick. I don't have to have it extremely detailed or anything like that because once again, I'm putting enough detail so it's a barn, but it's going to be covered in mist and all that stuff. So, all right. Okie dokie. We're going to deal with script liners and very small. Let's bring it here. We're going to deal with script liners and small brushes for this. Okay. All right. Tiny brushes. We're going to once again use probably more or less a lot of water with the paint. Get some red here. Obviously barns are red. We're going to do it right here on the glass. Get some water. Just like that. Loosen it up a bit. I'll use some of this brown stuff, mix it in there with it. A little more brown. There we go. Just mix it in there. Okay. Get some water, make it really thin. Almost like a watercolor. Because we could just build off of this. Okay. All right. I will just generally just paint it in. Okie dokie. Let's do it from the side first. Right here. Flip it around. Now the advantage of this is that I am not painting on canvas. This is watercolor paper, so. Why do I paint on watercolor paper? Well, I do a lot of tutorials. And it's kind of cost effective for me to do it this way. It does last. They don't fade or anything like that. And I do varnish them. So, in case you're wondering why I do it on watercolor. Is it Paramount? How are you? Greetings. Welcome. Good to see you. Now, it depends on what side I want brighter. Let's see what happens if I do the front of the barn brighter. I'll add the smallest amount of white to it just to brighten it up just a little bit. And we'll see what happens. Now, adding white, you have the tendency to bleach this stuff out, so just be mindful of that. And when you change the color, make sure you have enough of that color. I have a bad habit of not making enough, but we'll see as we move along here. We'll see. And like I say, it doesn't have to be extremely detailed. I gotta watch myself with these because some of this has got clumps of color and it's still drying, so just make sure my hand is above all of that fray down there. I said, this doesn't have to be extremely detailed, it's a little further away. And it's the general shape that I'm looking for. I'll periodically stop because I am looking at a large monitor, which you guys cannot see. But it's just me just looking at this stuff. It looks like another person's painting it, so just to make sure things are right. Which is why you see me periodically just stop. Okay. Alrighty. As I'm looking, and I'm gonna put some of this red on top of this color, just for color harmony's sake. Okay. Let's not do that. Let's take a script liner. Either a script liner or a liner brush will work for this. I'll use some of this darker color here. Once again, I'm not going for architectural detail here. Just general shapes. Because once again, this is going to be hidden with a blanket of fog. Alright. What's the difference between watercolor and acrylic when you thin down the acrylic? Well, with watercolor, it works the opposite. Watercolor tends to get brighter when it dries. Not so much with acrylic. Acrylic, once it's dry, it's dry. You got what you see. Okay. Actually, acrylic gets darker. It dries flat. Oil paint dries by oxidation. What you see is what you get. Actually, I kind of like that just white, so I'll just leave it like that. But I will do something pretty neat with the window in there. I'll just keep the window dark. I got the bright red down there, but I'll just keep the window dark. This is just the same color that I use for the trees. It will appear black because of the colors surrounding it. That's just a trick your eye plays on you. Like so. Hello, Pat Worley. How are you? Good to see you. I know it's pretty late. I usually end up, let's do this too. I usually end up getting different viewership, especially when I used to paint on Facebook often. The later I would go at night, I would usually get another demographic of people on the planet and in the United States because of the time zones. So when I used to do this at 3 or 4 in the morning, I used to get a lot of people from Dubai. Stopping by to say hello. All right. Just like so. Now I can water this down. Usually I would use an even thinner brush than this, but I'll add little detailed things here. Not too much. But I can kind of, I have to be careful. I'll do it this way. Very careful. I'll add some striations in there. I'll go up a little bit. Come here, go up there a little bit. Add some characteristic shadows and such. Little details here and there. Okay, just a little bit, just not, you know, you don't have to go overboard with it. Let's get some more water. Get a really inky consistency here. I would usually use a script. This is just a liner, a little liner brush, a little rigger brush here. Script liner's longer, a little thinner. All right, here we go. Some go straight down, some don't. So just really putting slats on the barn here. I don't have to be, once again, architecturally sound with this. I can go up here. And put a little shadow underneath. The shadows don't have to be perfect, it can be scattered a little bit like that. Take my finger and drag some of that color down a little bit. Just like that. Alright. Okay. Alrighty. Let's go back to the flat brush. I'm gonna wet the brush. I'm gonna probably wet this silo pretty good here. There we go. I can see the water trailing a little bit, which is fine. There's a reason why I'm doing this. Letting that water trail like that. All right, let's take some of this color. I'll dip it into a little bit of white there. And we'll darken this part right in here, like this, with that water, just like that. Why am I doing it this way? Because it will be easy to fade and blend once I get it straight. All right, don't worry about the stuff leaking down there. Don't worry about that. Okay, now it's saturated with water. I'm wiping off my brush. Okay, and then I can just take it. Well, actually, I just leave it alone because it's starting to fade by itself anyway. But, you know, I can take it and kind of drag it on here. Then I'll just take the dark color, put it right on the very edge right here. It'll, as long as it's wet, it'll start to blend by itself. All you gotta do really is leave it alone. Add a little shadow in here. Just like that. Okay. Just take a little bit of blue. You don't necessarily have to do this. I'm just taking some blue and bleaching out a lot of that blue. Some more white than blue. There's a hint of blue in there. Just a hint of blue. Just a slight hint of blue. Let's scumble some of that right in there. Just like that. Now, if you find yourself going outside the lines more or less, quote unquote, don't worry about stuff like that. If you got enough of the other color, it's okay. You make it disappear just like that. All right. And you know, there you go. Okay, let's go to the top of this guy here. I'll probably have it grayish. So let's go back into our brownish color here. Put it right there in that white. And all of a sudden it just turns a metal gray. Okay, see that? Get a little bit of water. Loosen up that paint a bit. See that? All right, okay. And here we go. What's that? Alrighty. Add a little more of that dark in there. Each edge, you can have it get a little darker, I guess. I'm not worried about going outside the lines because I can correct it. Get a little bit of water there. Remember, I'm not looking for architectural drawing here with something so small. This is just the image of the barn. Once again, it will be shrouded in fog, which is another reason why I'm using water and not glycerin. Because glycerin prolongs the drying time of this stuff. And I want it pretty much dry by the time I'm done. Okay. All right. Okie dokie. Let's mix some of this in with that other color just to get it a little darker there. Just like that. All right. All right, so we've got, that done. Let's play around one more time before I retire this color. I'm gonna put in the edge of the lake here, or the little pond, right in here. Right up in here. So we're gonna put in a little bit of shadow right in there. Oh, you guys can't see that. Hold on. Oh, come on back. Actually, let's bring this up. And let's go this way. Right there. All right, we're right here. You guys should be able to see that. Just like that. Something dark right there. Okay. We'll probably end up building some of this up. Let's see if I can get away with it here. Yeah, I can. Some tall weeds or whatever. So let's take advantage of this dark color while I have it here. And keep in mind, even this lake will be shrouded in fog. This whole majority of this painting will be shrouded in mist and in fog. Okay. And then I will put objects in front of that mist and fog to kind of shell this painting in. So if this stuff appears a little dark, it's supposed to. Make the little weeds here a little taller. Just vary them in height, basically. Okay, but just like that. I kind of like that grayish color, so hold on for 1 second. I like the grayish blue, so we're going to do something with that right here. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing. Excuse me. Right here. Welcome back, guys. All right, that's enough of that. Okay, let's pan back. Let's put it right about here. All right, pop the focus on real quick. Okay, let's deal with this. Okay, a few ways to approach that. I think I'm going to now this is where I might move this stuff here, but we'll see. I think we'll go with a deep kind of a green. We can actually put it, we'll put it right in here. It don't matter. We'll just kind of mix it in here. What's left of the blue, put it right in here in this dark color right in here. I know I got some white in there. I didn't mean to do with the white, but it's okay. Pop a little brown in that. Don't know if I have enough. We'll find out in a second. Get just a little touch of water. Put it in there. We'll deepen it with a little more brown and the rest of that blue there. Okay. And we're going to use the side of the brush, and we're going to kind of get a nice little field going in here. Okay. Side of the brush, side of the brush. We're gonna build on all of this, so don't worry. I'm blocking stuff in, that's all. I can go right over the darker color. It will show through. And once again, we're just blocking in color. Okay. Block that color right in. Just block it in. Get some more. I will usually work with a very, very small color palette. Reason being that I have a lot of people who are not experienced painters, and you know, a large color palette can really discourage or, you know, intimidate people. So I usually work with a smaller palette. I don't totally have to get rid of all of that blue, but the majority of it will disappear. Just bringing back in some more of the blue. A little bit more of the yellow, of course. Yep, more brown. And once again, go right back to the side here. Block it in. Block it right in. I'm using the side of the brush because I like the patterns. I like the texture that it's leaving behind. Follow me. Okay, but now you see that the grass, the field, looks, you know, somewhat manicured. It's not a bunch of weeds sticking up all over the place. So there's always a method to my madness. All right, okay. Alrighty then. See how quick that went? Like I say, I know it's a little bit late in the evening / morning now, I believe. I've been at this for an hour. Things are going to go a little bit faster now. Now, you also see that I have to add a little more life to this pond. And we'll do that right now. I think I might get away with it with water this time. Okay? Because we have a layer of paint on this, so it's not gonna be apt to dry as quickly. So I'll do with the water. We'll get a little bit of blue, and we'll kind of pop that blue in there. Just like that. We're kind of on the other side here. Do the same thing. pop that blue in there, like so. Okay. Now, putting the white in there will make it pop. And we'll kind of guide it in there like that. Same thing over here on this side, like so. You see that difference? Let's borrow some blue here, and then we'll put it here. Don't worry about none of this. That doesn't matter. None of that matters either. Let that disappear. Don't worry about none of that. Alright, but you see how that looks now? You see how it woke it up? And you still got your dark rim around there. Okay? Alright. Okay, let's have a little bit of fun. Let's take a fan brush. We'll throw some wildflower looking things in there real quick. Okay, nothing really extravagant. We'll go with a little bit of yellow. We'll put the yellow right here. Get a touch of white to beef up that yellow. Okay. And we'll throw in some little wildflower things. Put it in there like that. Look at this. Look. See that? Put some in there like this. And put a little speckles in there like that in there. Something like that. Maybe a couple in there, more or less. It's just, something like that. Okay. We can throw some bluebells in there. Why not? They look nice. Let's take some blue. We'll put the blue right here. Take a little bit of white. A little more white. Like that. A little touch of water, and I mean a small touch. Okay. Alright. I'll pop some bluebells in there. We'll kind of spatter them in there. The closer you are, the more control you have over this stuff when you do it. Alright, just be mindful of that. If you get some in the water, wipe it away. You still got a few seconds. Wipe it right away. Alright, okay. As I'm looking at this, let's get some deep blue. We'll put it right here. Get a little bit of water. Just a little bit. Some deep blue here. And usually down back here, get them a little darker. Like I say, if you get it in the water, wipe it away real fast. It's okay. A little bit more water. Need some larger chunks of this stuff. Put some larger ones in here like that. I'm really pressing this brush here. Just pop them in there real quick. Right back here. Turn my brush around. Not for the faint of heart. Sometimes you just got to do it, Okay, something like that. See, you got all this activity, all this stuff going on there. All right. So it's not too terribly difficult once you learn the techniques. Okay. Okay, we got some little splatters here in the water. No problem. Wipe them away like that. No big deal. Don't cry about it. Don't worry. You're good. You're good. Okay. Let's get some interesting bits of some shiny grass, maybe a little bit of sun hitting it here and there. Okay. All right. I can use the flat brush. I can, but I'd rather use the fan brush rather. I'd rather use a flat brush. Okay. I'll use a smaller one. I'll use a 1-inch flat. This guy here. Okay. All right. Let's move this guy up past. Let's move him over here. All right. Let's bring this down a little bit. Maybe even it and bring it right about there. Let's touch the focus for a second there. All right. So we'll put a little bit of a glow, maybe over here, because you know, kind of brighter here. So we'll put some of that here. Okay, and maybe a little bit in here. All right. Okay. Let's take a little bit of that yellow. We'll pop it in like that. We got some of this yellow with the white in it. We'll put some of that in there like that. Okay, something like this. Now I'm using the sides of the brush here. Okay. I'm gonna wipe off a lot of what I just did. I know it doesn't make any sense. Okay. And very lightly, you take your, we'll do it right here. You take your brush very lightly, and see that? Very lightly get some light patches there. You can kind of highlight the back there. The texture is actually helping you out more, if anything. Just put some of that in here like that. Very light, very light. Pop some here. And the ground is fairly flat, so I'm gonna keep it flat. Okay. Maybe a little. We'll put a little bit of something there. All right. Maybe a little something there. A little bit. Not really too much. I can brighten that a little. It might need to be brightened just a tad. The brighter you go, the lighter your hand should be. Very light, okay? Very light. Oh. Very light. Very light. Thank you, Carolyn. I tend to, as an artist, just myself, I tend to paint a little bit of everything. So I don't really stick to one main thing, which is nothing wrong with that. I mean, people who do stick to one main thing are absolutely phenomenal at it. I just do a little bit of everything. And I mean, it's just me. I like it. Okay. I think I'll leave that be. There's enough shine in there. Leave it alone. Because remember, there's going to be objects in front of this, and a lot of this is going to be shrouded by fog once again. Okay. Alrighty then. So, as I'm talking to you, and I'm looking at this at the same time, let's go back into our dark color for a minute. A little bit of blue, a little bit of red. I'll put it over here. I always tend to use more red than blue. That's just because, well, no specific reason. It's just because. The more blue you use against that red, it's a deep maroon, but you keep using it, it will gravitate toward almost the appearance of black, but it's a more soft black. It's not as stark. Okay. All right. We're really going to bump up that dark in here. Yep, you guys can still somewhat see this, okay. I'm going to add just the smallest bit of water. I don't want to lose the intensity of the darkness. It's just I need it to be a little more fluid. All right. And I want to use more of the edge, so my brush is a little more direct forward. Something like that. Just give it a stronger, you know, you can tell that it's there's a dip there in that water there. All right. Okay. All right. All right. I won't need this anymore. Well, for now, let's go into a script liner. I will show you the script liner. It's buried. I have to dig it out here. There we are. All right, this little fellow, this little skinny guy right here. I'll show it to you over here. There it is. Okay, script liner. We're going to go into our water, go into this little dark mix right in here, which needs to be a little darker, so I'm going into this blue. Make it an extremely inky consistency with this stuff. So it has to be fairly dark. You'll be playing with this a bit till you get the darkness you're looking for. So this is a whole lot of blue in this maroon color here. I'm just mixing it in very, very well. A little more red. You'll get it. You will definitely get it. It will still appear to be somewhat black, or at least extremely dark, close to it. All right. So in here, I'll throw in some, now be careful. I'll throw in some, some grass, patches of grass going in there like this. Some in there like that. Very thin. Now keep in mind that this paper is only 12 by 18. It's not even 16 by 20. Okay. So you're trying to do things conducive to the size of the paper. Be careful. And I'm adding the weeds at the water's edge here in varying sizes and patches and whatnot. I'm gonna add some larger ones in the front in here also. Bring some out here. Just if you get a little crazy, or if it goes into the water, it's okay. It's all right. You can always wipe it away. You got a short time frame to do that. As I do each layer and each process of this stuff, I look at I got a 40-inch TV screen that my webcaster is hooked to, so I have to look at it, make sure everything's right, everything's cool. So if you see me pause every now and then, that's why. Okay. All right. That's what we got going on so far. I can bring what I just did down below for reflections. All right. Don't have to be exact, just a representation of them. When you do reflections, you go in the opposite way you put the ones up top there. Okay. just like so. Thank you, Rosemary. I do appreciate you stopping by and saying hey. Like I say, it's been a while, but like I say, I'm usually on YouTube. So okay, I can add the same amount of grass or the weeds over here. All right, but I'm gonna add some greener ones in with it. Okay, so we'll start from over here. We'll start a patch here. You see they're a little bit larger. Okay, these guys, I'm gonna get a little bit more water. These guys are a little larger. They're in over here. They're closer to us. Okay, so I'm mixing in the dark, and I'm gonna mix in some green with them, so you know there will be a difference. Okay, and I'll pop them in there. These are a little thicker, a little larger. Some of them will appear to go across to the top of the other weeds over there, but you'll still see the difference. You'll see in a second. Group them, put them in little patches there, little groups there. I'm going a little more into the thicker paint as I do this, so it kind of sticks out. And like I said, they're bigger. Make sure, see how I do mine in patches. Okay, and I'll straggle a couple of smaller ones, then I'll do another big patch like that, pop them in there, and just keep going. You'll get accustomed to doing these the more you do them. All right. I'll come over the other. Sometimes I go on the other side just for myself, just so I don't get too complacent and bored doing these, because they can be monotonous. But it pays off in the end when somebody says how much for that painting in the window. Something like that. All right, enough of that. Let's go to the bright green here. I'm just going to dip into the water. Now remember, sometimes you're going to have to make these brighter than what you feel it should be, because acrylic paint, remember, dries flat. All right, they dry, it appears darker when they dry than when you put them on. Keep that in mind. All right, okay. So remember, I told you I was going to put some green ones in here. So you sporadically pop in those green ones. Just like that. See? Getting a little water because the paint's still a little bit thick. You'll learn this also in practice. Just keep doing it. Just like that. Pop them in there. See this? Okay. Come out here on the other side. And I just tend to, once again, put them in groups. Not so many where there's light and the colors are kind of similar to each other. You can, kind of stray away from that. Like so. Put it right in there. All right. You take care, Carolyn. I do appreciate the time you did spend with us. Always do. You take care. Appreciate you. Okay, so we've got some of our grasses in here. We have our field here. Okay. All right. I'm trying to think of what else. I'm going to take a very small marker, pen, and cheat because I can. I'll put a little bit of detail on that silo, a little bit like that. And put a little crisp crisscross stuff in there like this. Come over this way, add to the brown, just this fella. Once again, you don't have to do this. I just looked at it and like, it needs a little something up there. And really that's about it. I can darken this edge a little bit there. And it's just me cheating a little bit. Method to my madness. You definitely can't do what you see me doing with oil paint. That's not happening. But you can do your barn in acrylic and do the rest of the painting in oil. That you can do that all day. You can paint oil on top of acrylic all day. Have a ball, knock yourself out. But you can't paint acrylic on top of oil. You can paint oil on top of acrylic. All right. Okay. The great majority of this painting is pretty much dry. All right. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for this stage. Oh, no, it's not. I lied. Excuse me. I lied. No, it's not. It's not the end. My bad. My bad. Okay, let's get a little bit of brown into this purple color. I'm gonna muddy it up a little bit. I almost forgot. Can't do that now. I'm mixing the brown in with this color here. I'm going to my blue. Get it a little darker. It's being mixed in with this brown here. All right. Okay. All right. Almost forgot. We got a couple trees to put in here, but they're not overly large. Okay, we're gonna put one right here, just about that far, right in there, just like this, just about that high right there. Okay, we'll put a smaller one almost back here somewhere like this. All right. I'm going to make that a little darker. Just like that. And make him darker right here. Well, Sandy. Hello, Marilyn. Well, Sandy, I will show it to you in a few minutes. The trees I have to put in there. We'll put one right about. We'll put a larger one right in here like this. I'm going to show you that, which is why I'm painting this in acrylic paint in water, because it evaporates, it dries, and I'll be done with it. All right, but I am going to show you that. Let's take this dark color. I'm going to need more of it. So I'm going back into my blue, mix it right in there. I'll take this brown, mix the blue and brown. I don't think I'll use red. I'll just use this dark color. Our trees here, almost half silhouette. Okay, we'll start with this one. And if we're just going to tap. Just like this. Almost like an oval. And then it's going to slowly come upward. Of course, I'm going to highlight these guys. Of course, you don't see it, of course. Let's slide this guy that way. All right. Of course, when I did that, I slid it right in front of the next one I was going to do. So let's go back downward. Let's go down and let's go back in that direction. Come on, buddy. There you go. Okay, we'll do this fellow. I usually keep my middles pretty dark. This one's a little larger, so he's a little taller. Okay, we'll kind of pop him up this way, like that. But he kind of expands outward. You might not see it too good because it's pretty dark. I'll highlight this. And we'll bulk him out a little bit here. Just like that. And bring him up to the top there. We'll round him. It's almost like an egg. An extended egg. Okay. Okay. The smaller tree in the background, I didn't get to him yet, but I will. I just need a smaller brush. Okay. And this little fella back here, we'll kind of just like that. Just like so. Okay. Give him a little bit of shadow down there. Actually, let's take that shadow and we're gonna put a nice tree shadow there. Same thing with this fellow. Let's put a tree shadow down there. Just like that. Going this way. A little tree shadow with this guy too. Put it out there. All right. So we got tree shadows. Once I highlight these trees, we'll get to the stage for the highlighting, or the making it misty. What I was trying to say. Get some green here. I don't want the green really too bright. Okay, very, very, very light taps. Okay, you don't want to get rid of all of your dark. Extremely light taps here. Like that. So it's a little stronger glow on one side than the other. This fella just got a couple of cute little taps back there. That's about it. Then, a little more on this one here. He's a little closer to us. Pop a little bit of love on the other side here, just a little bit. Like so. All right. Well, guys, we just have to let it dry a little bit. Let these three dry. Okay. And while we're waiting for that, I'm going to get a little bit of white, a little bit of brown. Remember, there's no glycerin. Just wipe most of that paint off so I can kind of scumple in a little bit of bark in there. Just like that. Pop some bark in there. This fella. tree detail, little trunk details in there. A little brightness on one side there. And then you can kind of something like that. And wait for it to dry. It's going to take a few minutes for it to dry. And as it's going to take a few minutes for it to dry, I can remove this, remove that, move it off camera here. I'm going to take my knife. We're going to scrape away what I don't need here. Like I said, I know this is very late for quite a few of you, depending on what time zone and what country you're from. This is pretty late at night. But you guys will be able to catch this in its entirety almost immediately once I sign off. Okay. What I am going to use, I won't waste it, I'll just bring it out here. Get a little bit of this white paint, just put it right there. Okay. There's many ways to do mist, alright, but for the sake of this painting, once everything dries, this whole painting will be covered in a slight film of this white paint. Alright. As long as it dries. Station identification here. I'll be right back. Yes. Oh, you can't hear me. Yes. Yes, Sandy. You just look up grayscale painting. Or grayscale painting florals. But yeah, grayscale painting. Welcome back, Marilyn. I think Rosemary came back. I do have to wait for this to totally dry. And I think it almost is. Almost. We're almost there, guys. Okay. And I'll show you what I'm going to do here. In many circles, this might be absolutely crazy. How should I do this? Because you guys do see the palette. I mean, I can make this painting much smaller, and I think I'll do that. I'll make it much smaller, and then I'll slide it to the side here, like this. And then I'll slide this back. I think my unit's acting squirrely here. There we go. Let's fix this like that. Okay. This is usually how I have my setup. And I'm usually, there's a camera. It would be a picture of me right here, or video of me. I just didn't turn it on today. I'll do it this way because most of this is dry and finished. I just have to make sure. I have to make exactly sure that's totally dry for what I'm going to do next. Okay, it's damp, but a few more seconds to be dry. Now what I'm going to do is take my varnish brush, some white. Actually, I'm gonna probably use a touch of blue with that white. Okay, and a lot of water, and make a glaze over the whole thing. Okay. My coffee is cold. But yeah, we're almost done. Because after I put the glaze on, I might have to glaze it twice. We'll see. Then I'll put trees or something in front of that to bring this whole picture back. So once again, it's kind of encapsulated a little bit. Okay. And it really depends on your preference of how much of the well, while I'm talking to you, there's something else I can do, because I forgot. Even though it's going to be covered in mist, the trees still have to be highlighted, and I'm going to do that right now. But I'm just using basic yellow, because yellow, once again, yellow is kind of a weak color. And we gotta it's only 1/2 of the tree that's gonna capture the color anyway, or capture the light. This should be enough too. All I need is just a few little leaves captured. Don't worry about this, it dries almost immediately. So don't worry about that. I get a lot of that, Sandy. It's definitely what Bob Ross would call the bravery test. But no, I've done a number of these over the years. Okay, just had to highlight those guys. And if you notice, it's almost like reverse perspective, because the main perspective is going this way, but these guys are going in the opposite direction. But we're almost ready. Now the paint that I just put on here, give it a couple more seconds and see, it'll be dry. Because you have to wait for it to dry, because once I go over it, you don't want nothing to smear. You follow me? Okay. Cindy, how are you? Greetings. I'm usually on, anybody that's new, I'm usually on YouTube now under the same name, Grayscale Painting. Grayscale, actually, let me do something for you. Hello, Carmen, how are you? I don't know if people may have left already, but I'll do something real quick here. Hello, Eileen. What am I doing here? Hold on. I can make this easier on everybody here. Hold on. I'll make this easier. There, that makes it easier. Just subscribe there. It's good to see you, Carmen. Technically, you should be able to click on that link and it'll bring you there. All right. Let the fun and games begin. I'm going to take this varnish brush. I'm going to get the slightest touch of blue, very slight touch. I'll pop it in there. I get some water. I'm going to need plenty of water. Just like this. Now this white, though thicker than craft paint, okay, I'm going to get another touch of blue in there. Very faint, and I mean just the tip of my brush is in the blue. Okay, just like that. So it's not totally white. You should be able to see that difference between white, and then that blue stuff. Okay. And I do have to get it pretty watery because it has to be fairly thin. All right. And it is water, so once it's laid in there, all right, it's not coming, you're not lifting it back up. So once again, bravery test, okay? I'll just kind of push it over here. So what I'm going to do is saturate the brush with this white water stuff. And I'm going to go right across all of this. All of it. Right across all of it. All right. Okay, here we go. Ready? You guys aren't ready, but you know, we're going to do it anyway. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And just get it, just put it in there. It's still wet, you can maneuver it around. Just keep doing it. Keep doing it. And now I'm going to need more water and more white and a touch of blue. That's not enough blue. Get that blue in there. There we go. Pop it in there. Don't panic. It's going to be okay. Don't panic. We're all right. We're okay. Overlap it a little bit. Get some more. The varnish brush usually puts this stuff on fairly easy, even, I'm trying to say. Okay? So don't worry. And all this paint that I'm going over is already dry. Hashtag don't panic. Put it in there. Okay. It's okay. Put it in there. Don't cry. Hashtag don't panic. And let it dry. Just let it dry. As you can see, this thin film is going over it. Okay. Hashtag don't panic. Let's go straight across with it. It's all right. You're okay. You're okay. People are gritting their teeth and passing out. Relax. Relax. Shouldn't I be the one passing out? It's okay. It's all right. And you just let it dry. Okay? Just let it naturally dry. Yes, I'm going in crisscrosses and all that stuff. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. If you get a little line, make the line disappear. It's okay. Believe me, this all glaze over it and dry. You'll be good. You're fine. You're okay. It's all right. Just let it dry. And there's a nice film that's gonna happen as it dries. It's drying, you know, right now, because white leaves a chalky residue, which gives you that little hazy look to it. Okay. So just let it dry. Let it dry. I think that should be more than enough. We'll see as it dries. Gotta let it naturally air dry, of course. If you're in a rush, you can always use a hair dryer. Excuse me. Just cleaning up this mess here. The benefits of a glass palette: just take some water and wipe it right away. All the stuff you don't want, just wipe it away. I'm gonna still need this white. Actually, I can get away with doing what I'm going to do next right now. I guess I'll use this brush. No. I kind of want to use it, but I don't want to use this brush. I'll use the other one. I'll use this. I'll use this flat brush. I kind of like a filbert with this for this, but I'll use a flat brush here to work. Okay, so we got our little fog thing happening here. Okay, I'm going to take a tiny bit of paint. Okay, now this is still pretty damp, so I can manipulate it a little bit. I'm going to take some white, and we're going to get some fog going across the, right across. Let's get a little water with that, like that. You get a little fog going across, just like that. Just nice little batch of fog moving across. Now adding the water to it, it brightens it up a little bit, and it's a lot of scumbling going on here. Go right across the page there. Doesn't take much. Doesn't take much white to do this. It's just a lot of layers. Okay, it's just layers of paint. Very flat, no sharp edges. All right. Oh, we're gonna kind of bring some. Let's bring some right across the barn a little bit. I'm just rubbing it in there. See this? Little touch of paint. Just rub it right across the barn there. The thing is, it's a thin layer, so you still see the barn, you still see the fog. Follow me? And you're just building up layers. Make it brighter and brighter, bright as you want it to be, really. You have it thin, you have it thick, up to you. Okay. And even this adds to, it adds to your different planes of perspective. Putting this stuff in there. All right. If as it dries, you see it's a little bit on the thin side, you can always come back and brighten up things. Right across there. Right across the tree. See that? Yeah, I mean, I can probably pop a little something right across the lake here. Right across the lake. Or a little pond. It's not really a lake. Little fishing hole. And I just use pure white. Cross it right on the other side here. No hard edges. He's trying not to put any hard edges on there. And you just keep building up. Same spot, just build it up, build it up, build it up. And build it up. Build up that brightness. Depends on how bright you want it. Up to you. All up to you. No problem, Carbon. No problem at all. But you guys can see those things happening back there. Okay. So we got our trees, got our background, you got all that stuff, you got the clouds going on, you still see bits of fog all over the place. Okay. Last part of the painting, and then we're gonna call it a day here. Okay, let's throw some what can I use for it? I guess I can use some of this. Even though I got rid of a lot of the other colors. We can still use this. Let me get a decent flat brush, which is probably buried. We'll throw some thicker trees in here. I'm going into my blue. You don't see it because the palette's in my hand. I'm going back into my red and blue and a little bit of brown. I might have to use a deeper. Actually, no, I don't. I'll put it right here. No, I don't. Because this is the last part of the painting, so once again, I can cheat. I'll just use black. But it's a little touch of black. It's not strong amount of black like you would think. Because I'm just gonna do the trunks and add detail to the trunks of the trees. I just need a little bit. All right, here we go. Like I said, this is going to be in my hand. I'll just describe it to you. I'm just using a little bit of black in this maroon that I have. Okay, this maroon and brown. So it's going to be kind of grayish. This won't be shrouded in fog because these guys are red smack in front. Okay, all right. So I'll pick and choose where do I want to put this tree. Something like that. And we'll thicken him up toward the edge there. Get a tiny touch of water here. Still want to keep the paint pretty thick, so when you block it in. And you block the tree in. You use the trunk in anyway. Block this guy right in there. A little bit of black, a little bit of what is this? Got red, and I ran out of blue. At this stage of the game, yes, I ran out of blue, and yet I still need blue, even at this late stage. But it's best for me to run out of paint than to have way too much and have to waste it and throw it out. So it's okay. It's all right. Once again, just get it back to that dark mix. Okay. And go back into, here we go. Make this guy fairly solid, like that. Okay. Yep. and still make it a tree. Make it about as natural as you can. Still make it look like a tree. Okay. Fine. Good enough. A little bit of blue, a little bit of black. Yeah. Being that these trees are directly in the front, make your edges extremely sharp. Okay. Our brushes, you gotta have a decent edge to it. There. Make those edges on the sides fairly sharp there. Yeah, it does work, Sandy. It works. I can understand your concern. Really, I can understand. And like I said, it pretty much, these guys will frame this in. I'm just coughing up some more dark paint here. I'll add branches to this guy. It's just well, I'll just pop it in right now. I'll add them in. Hold on. It takes a second. I just want to place the third one. You got to have tree number 3. It's got to be an odd number. Your eyes accept it better. I'm just gauging what thickness I want this guy. That's all. Cool. All right. Hey, welcome back, Rosemary. Just cleaning off the 1-inch flat brush. We're about 98% finished with this here. Okay, let's get a larger, well, it's still a thinner flat brush, but a little smaller. It's about a ½ inch or so, just for the branches. Thicker branches, of course. they're thicker, obviously, coming from the trunk. And they're, you know, well, you know how, you know, branches get. Okay. I'm just using a smaller flat brush for all of this. I'll fine tune some of these fellas here. Whoops. Well, I guess that's a branch now, right? That was a mistake. Quick recovery. Quick recovery is okay. It's all right. Quick recovery. There. Sorry about that. I didn't mean for that to happen, but it's all right. Let's go back to my script liner. We'll get some finer branches in there real quick. No big deal. The smaller branches are pretty cool to paint anyway. Oh, we'll just kind of swing down and go in whatever direction you want. Like that. In a Y formation. Just like that. There. We're almost there. We're almost there. I promise. We'll get some thinner branches kind of dangling off these fellas here like that. Your paint has to be very inky consistency with such a thin brush. Okay. And a whole lot of letter Y's going in different directions. Okay. Hey, Margaret, how are you? I see you over there with that accordion. I see you. Hope you're doing well, Margaret. I see you with that accordion. We're going to make that a little thicker. It's coming in front of the silo there. Okay. All trick on fog and your the darkness and, you know, all sorts of things. See that? Okay. All right. Enough of that playing around. This well, I'm gonna cheat again because pretty much I can. Let me quickly sign my name on this because the last part we have to do is just the bark. So I'll sign my name right about here. Put it right here in the corner. Hey Ashley, I see your brother's doing big things down there. Hope you and hubby are doing well. Let's get a little bit of brown. Let's get a little bit of this mixture of black and whatever. Can you guys? Yeah, you guys can still see me. All right, we'll just kind of mix it right in here. I will mix it in with this white. I'll get some more of this dark mix of blue, brown, and whatever. Mix it in with this this white paint here, and we'll put this right here. All right, just get a little swipe across, and we're gonna have some fun. Okay, which one should I start with? I'll go over here, and I'll just lightly just some interesting little bark patterns of this fellow. It's really not too difficult to kind of make an old raggedy tree. All right, old raggedy tree. Just like so. Some of these I'll cover with the gray. Some of the smaller branches, some of the branches I will not. All depends which way I want to go with it. There's no glycerin or anything on the tree, so this is pretty much wet on dry. So I can patch it. You can make it look any way you want, really. Now I've been doing this for a while. I make it look easy, but I've been doing this for a minute. You guys can do the exact same thing. I'll borrow some from over here. Just like that. All right. I'm gonna have to use my right hand for a second here. This is for the edge of the tree. Okay. It's good to hear. Good to hear. I'm looking. We'll add a little bit of what I don't have. Get a tiny smidgen of white paint if I got some left. Will that be enough? Maybe. We'll see. Just a little bit of highlight on the left-hand side here. Still gotta know where your lit side is. Okay. Something like that. I don't think I got enough for the other two trees. If not, once again, I gotta dig into the white paint just for like 3 seconds of highlights. But it happens. It's all right. Yeah, I don't have enough. Of course I don't have enough. That's okay. Let me just, we'll just use regular titanium white. We only need a little dot of it. And then that's it. We call this one finished. Now, since I'm on Facebook doing this, I don't have to do a menu screen or anything because I'm not on YouTube doing this. So, but I will take a picture of this and post it. Not wise to do it the way I'm doing it right now because you really can't see. You have to kind of guess where the edge would be. So I wouldn't recommend doing it this way. You turn your knife around the other way. It would probably save you a whole lot of headache and heartache if you messed it up doing it that way. All right, I could just take my script liner, a little bit of this paint, and we'll lightly go across the smaller ones here. And I don't have to do every one. That won't be necessary. Right underneath here. Just like that. Maybe a few of those. Not many. Because white tends to bring some of this stuff up front. So be careful. I don't want to highlight everything, so I think we're good here. Let's peel this thing away. It is 18 by 12, so I do have a frame for it. So we'll make this disappear. You don't need to see that no more. We'll center this something like that. We'll bring it up closer a little bit. Yeah, something like that. We'll center it, we'll focus it. Let's take the tape off here. I do appreciate, because it's extremely late. So I do appreciate you guys watching this. And I know there's going to be a few others watching it tomorrow or the upcoming months or whatever. They're going to look at all for it on YouTube, of course, but so I decided to do Facebook today. All right, let's see what it looks like in the frame. I do have a little frame here. Let's take the backing off it here. Forgive the glare. I didn't take the plexiglass off. But, yeah, on a frame, it would pretty much look like moi. All right. Like I say, forgive the glare. But that's what it would look like in a frame. So you do have your mist, and you do have fog and all of that. Okay. And I could have made it even more misty than that, but it does work. The white paint, even on canvas, it will have the same effect because you're mixing water with your white paint. White paint, just by its properties of how white paint is made, it just leaves a chalky residue. The siennas will do it also. Some of the siennas and umber colors will have the same chalky residue also. So I appreciate it, Ashley. Yeah, there's a little trick to it. I do admit I've been doing it for a while, so yeah, I do make it look fairly easy, but trust me, there's been plenty of times I took that palette knife and stumbled and it fell across the floor. So it's a little bit of a learning curve, but all you have to do really is practice. You know, just like in anything, just keep practicing. So all right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, I am through. I will clean off this palette and all this tomorrow. I am done. Thank you so much It's been a minute. It's probably going to be another minute before you see me on YouTube again, or on Facebook. I'm usually a YouTuber now, so let's see if I can even click and get out of this thing here. I think my there we are. Oh, it did the wrong thing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to hook this up. Get out of there. But I shall see you guys when I see you. You guys take care. I'll post a picture of this in a few minutes. You guys take care. All right. If you want to see me on YouTube and all that good stuff. All right, guys. Peace.